Darla Tyler-McSherry. I'm the founder and visionary for Ask in Earnest, which is a suicide prevention initiative for the farm and ranch population. I was honored to present at a recent Montana Farm Bureau annual conference. I was born into the agriculture family. My dad was a third generation Montana wheat farmer, and he raised wheat and barley, and my brother is now continuing with the family farm. Even though I'm not involved in agriculture day to day, I do go up and help my brother with the annual wheat and barley harvest. Even though I'm not involved in ag every day, I feel that I can advocate for my people, for the farm and ranch population. The family farm is west of Big Sandy, Montana. I never realized how important it is that we need to be talking about mental health for the ag community. That all changed for me in September of 2016. My dad was a lifelong wheat farmer from Big Sandy, Montana. His name was Dick Tyler. My dad was born on the family farm. My brother and I were raised in the farmhouse that he was born in. And my dad was so proud of the fact that he was either a part of or he had led the family farm, the family harvest for 70 years. And that last summer, due to some health issues, he was not able to be out participating or leading harvest. My dad was born on the farm, and he died on the farm in his own hands. And after that, my brother and I talked, and we decided that we need to do whatever we can to help any other farm family, or any family for that matter. Devastation is a total understatement, being totally blindsided to the struggles that our dad was facing. And that has become my personal passion, is to raise awareness to the issue of mental health, especially depression and suicide for the farm and ranch population, to advocate for our ag community, to educate and to help communities build what is most impactful. I've received a lot of support from the local Suicide Prevention Coalition of Yellowstone Valley, and I've also received support from the Western Regional Agricultural Stress Assistance Program to do campaigns. We've done media campaigns in local newspapers in northern and eastern Montana, really communicating the importance of breaking down stigma, recognizing warning signs of mental health issues, especially depression and suicidal ideation. And then we follow up with providing resources such as 988, Farm Bureau of State of Mind, BeyondTheWeather.com, and helping people understand that the layperson, such as myself, plays an important role in talking about suicide and asking questions about, if I'm worried about something, what do I do? I'm a certified QPR trainer, which stands for Question, Persuade, and Refer. We can think of QPR as like CPR for suicide. I am a certified trainer where people take this 90-minute class and they learn so much about suicide and depression. We talk about what are the warning signs, and then the most important piece of this class is how in the heck do I have this conversation with this loved one, with this friend that I'm worried about? And we walk people through those steps, so at the end of that training, you walk away with more knowledge and more confidence and skills in how to ask those questions and literally provide potentially life-saving help to those people. I have a very robust website that is askinearnest.org. And I've partnered with, again, Montana Farm Bureau and many other organizations to present on the issue of suicide and farming, and again, to help elevate those conversations about mental health. and to let people know if you are struggling with mental health, if you're feeling alone, the most important thing I can share with you is you're not alone. There is so many people who can help, so many people who want to help, and there is help available and so many resources available. And let's get you connected to help. And if you yourself aren't struggling, but you know of someone who's struggling and you're worried about them, let's get you the information, the skills, some training, so that you can have those important conversations and potentially save someone's life. A huge challenge that farm and ranch people have is there's many challenges that I think that are different from outside populations. One is just being isolated. In Montana, we have an average of 6 people per square mile. In at least 10 of our counties, that average is more like 1 person per square mile. So when you're isolated, it's just so much easier to feel lonely and to experience loneliness. That in of itself is a huge challenge. Another challenge that farm and ranch people face is what makes you good as a farmer and a rancher are things such as you're willing to work long hours, you tolerate unusual pain and adversity to get the job done. If there's a problem, it's up to you to solve it. You have to rely on your own expertise, your own judgment. You have many factors working against you to just produce or to get through your day. All of those things that work for you as a farmer and rancher can work against you when it comes to mental health and recognizing that we're in trouble or that we're struggling, or we're even acknowledging that we're in trouble or struggling and being able to reach out for help. So one of the most important pieces of Ask in Earnest is to break down that stigma, to help people understand you are not alone, to help people understand you're not the only one who is feeling this way. If you feel lonely, if you're feeling like a burden, if you're feeling defeated, you are not alone. And effective help is available, and let's get you connected to those resources so that we can get you better and into a better place. Speaking from personal experience, as I shared earlier, my dad was a part of or led harvest every year for 70 years, and he shared or experienced his share of struggles from getting his foot caught in the auger of the combine to multiple eye surgeries. We're really worried about a loved one. Are they thinking about suicide? If that is the case, and even if you're not sure, some really helpful things that you can do on the farm or on the ranch is if you're worried about someone, you can call 988 and you can talk with a trained person on the other end of the line, and you can share with them, this is what's going on. And the other person on the end of 988 can give you some really helpful strategies to use when you do have that conversation. Another option is to say, if you are with that person and you're asking them questions and they're not in a good space emotionally, psychologically, they're definitely thinking of suicide, what you can do is, in that situation, say, hey, let's get another person involved. How about I call 988 and put the person on speaker and we can have a 3-way conversation. Because these conversations can be really huge and a lot, so we shouldn't expect that we have to handle this all on our own. We can tap into help and give that person that we care about life-saving help. We don't have to do it all alone. What I would love to see moving forward is things just as this. Thank you, Montana Farm Bureau, for this project. Whatever we can do to elevate the conversations and normalize conversations about mental health is so helpful in addressing and preventing suicide in that farm and ranch population. We can talk very easily about going to the dentist going to the doctor for our knee. Let's normalize those conversations about having a visit with our mental health professional, whether it's in town, in the city that we travel to, or if it's online, or if it's over the phone. Normalizing those conversations and just recognizing just how everyone has physical health, we all have mental health too. And we don't need to have a taboo about it. And the more that we don't talk about it, the more that stigma remains and the more difficult it is to effectively help break down that stigma and prevent suicide in the ag community. If you are struggling, you are not alone. So many people care about you. You have worth as you are. Regardless if you go through another harvest season or if you feed the cows one more time, that does not define you. You have value for you alone. Please, please reach out, call 988, go online to beyondtheweather.com, go to Montana Farm Bureau, State of Mind, absolute, terrific, wonderful resources. If you're worried about someone, please, you can also call 988, get terrific help. You don't have to take this on yourself. You can get help with other friends, other family members, medical providers, clergy, to help your loved one get connected to resources and help possibly prevent such an unnecessary tragedy from happening.